DMC, MNG.
And I'm Master Shendo.
And together we are
Deep Sector.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Today we're joined by our guest.
Yo, that shit was dope.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Hey, I'm Heavy D, David, whatever you want to call me. Yeah, they call me the Auntie Slayer, but we don't talk about
Auntie
that.
Slayer. Alright, bro. Alright.
I see you.
Yeah, right.
Nah, that was a joke. It was
Auntie Slayer, he said.
for entertainment purposes.
You might want to check your auntie's bedroom.
Check the closet.
Check the closet.
They call me your grandpa's nephew.
Start off with some shots. But
Yeah, let's
Get
do
into
it.
thanks for being here, man. Truly
Yeah,
appreciate
of
you coming
course.
out.
You know, I really appreciate you guys having me on. Like, when you told me about it at work, like, I felt like, I never take enough risks. Like,
Put yourself out there enough.
yeah, I never, like, with my passion of music, I'd never fully, engulfed myself into that realm. You know what I mean? I never actually went for it, I never took a risk. I never released a song. I never tried to do it, And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, this fool just told me he's going to open up for Rakim soon. Like, bro, like, life is crazy, and you just got to make the most of it. You know what I mean? And if I sit there like a pansy my whole life and never take a risk, sitting there like half a mook, just fucking
It's my half a mook, he said.
dying, you're like, you don't take a risk, you're gonna die one day and regret not taking a chance,
Yeah, man, you got to seize them opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Even if you don't get it, bro, at least you know the outcome. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you
You
know-
went through with it. You feel better about it even if you didn't get it. You still followed through with
Yeah.
the action. You didn't freeze up and didn't do anything, and then now you got nothing from it.
yeah, those are the moments that I do regret in life too, is when you freeze up, you regret that, oh, I should have fucking did this, or I should have said that. You know what I mean? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, the only thing that I could do is grow from it, like, fucking
Fuel your fire, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, but motivation is key when it comes to that sort of thing, and that's where, those internal struggles come into play, because like, that's always kind of been my shtick. Like, I always had the ability, but never the motivation. You know what I mean? And I don't want to make that mistake with music, because I would rather know that I failed than, be upset that I didn't go for it at all.
My best advice on motivation is just to do it.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more you're motivated to do it, because you're in the action of it, and especially if it's something you love, you're gonna want to do it more, constantly. You know what I'm saying? So like after I write a song, for instance, I rap it and shit. Whenever I'm losing motivation, I rap my music and listen to my music, and I get motivated again, because I'm like, this is what I fucking do. I'm fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I get all back in myself, and really, I'm there again.
Yeah, that's probably one of my bigger downfalls too, is, like, I kind of, like, back in high school, man, I remember times where I had this ginger friend in high school. His name was John Teasy, like, and he's pitch perfect. Like, since he was a kid, he was on Ellen and everything at 7. Like, she gave him like $10,000 worth of Legos and shit, because his family posted this, it's just a dog, man.
Magic.
No, man, like, he sang Journey or some shit at a talent show, and Alan's seen him. And we met in high school, and
Man,
like,
South?
yeah.
Thanks,
And
man.
he was an upperclassman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had the same energy, bro. We were both fucking idiots. You know what I mean? And, like, we both had the passion for music. We had similar, like, tastes and stuff, you know what I mean? But we had completely different upbringings. Like, he has both of his parents, and, like, he grew up in, like, a wealthy life. You know what I mean? Like, he grew up in a healthy environment. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I didn't. Like, I grew up basically sheltered from the world, like how I was telling you earlier. Yeah, like, my pops died when I was young, so my mom always felt obligated to protect me. You know what I mean? Because before he passed, she told me like they felt untouchable. Like they did some shit, you know, like, so when he passed, bro, it kind of fucked her whole world up. You know what I mean? So the only thing that she knew in her heart was to protect me, you know? So like when I fucking like got older and shit, you know, like I never really wanted to gangbang or do nothing that was bad because, you know, I knew that's the life that my dad lived, you know? And I'm not saying I want to be better than he was because I don't even know who the guy is. You know, I can't judge nobody upon anything. Like, I just have to be a man for myself. And that's probably the most difficult part for me because
You didn't have a dad.
no matter how hard my mom tried, it was always an empty space, you know?
That's tough, bro. Yeah, without a father figure, it's really tough, you
Yeah.
know? Like I have my dad, I know my dad, but he wasn't there, you know, like he was in prison most of my life. So I didn't really,
like, I don't know really what's harder to deal with, you know, because life is perception based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the hardest thing that I went through is for me to deal with. You know what I mean? And like, for example, my friend from high school, you know, the hardest thing that he had to deal with in his life was the hardest thing for him, you know, like, and that was his biggest trial of, you know, God or higher power or whatever you want to take it as. You know what I mean? Like, he dealt with whatever he dealt with, you know? And like, and that's one thing that I've learned in my life is like, I can't compare my situation to somebody else's because like at the end of the day, man, everybody goes through shit, you know? Everybody's had those nights where you sat in your room and you're like, fuck, you know? Like,
yeah.
you just gotta fucking get up, you know?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
And like, that's why I like Joey Diaz so much because ever since he always says like, you know, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you don't do nothing. Like, when you start to do nothing is when you really start to sink, you know? And like, that's where you can't do it because your whole life depends on you doing something. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is, if it's healthy or not. You know what I mean? You just can't do nothing.
you gotta live, bro.
Yeah.
Real shit, you know?
I've been trying to kick this fucking nicotine. I've been smoking these vapes since I was in high school, bro. And like,
You can kick it, man. You
I
just
know.
gotta believe, you know?
Yeah,
You
and
gotta want to.
I feel bad because I kind of showed everybody that's close to me these. Like, my mom has been blazing since I was born. You know what I mean? My mom smokes, and she used to smoke cigarettes. My mom smoked cigarettes from when I was a kid up until I was probably 14. She had a surgery that she couldn't smoke for like a month, weed or cigarettes. So she went cold turkey. She never smoked cigarettes again after that. So my mom was clean of cigarettes for like 4 or 5 years or whatever, and she kept catching me with these, man. She kept catching me with these. And, you know, one day she's like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. Took a puff, and now she fucking cops them for me. She wants them shits too, you know what I mean? I showed my lady. Shit, she was smoking them too. And it's literally like a cigarette addiction, bro. Like, I'll go 30 minutes, bro. I'll already start to get irritated. Fucking irritable as fuck. Impatient. They had me doing top stock and grocery the other day, and I had none. I was doing a shitty job. It's like, it fucks you up. You know what I mean? Like, and I never really... Shit, because, you know, I was a fucking dumb teenager. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I have problems. You know what I mean? I'm going to hit this, and it, you know, gives me a buzz. It's cool, you know? Yeah. And now I'm like, bro, if I don't hit this shit, what the fuck? You know? And, like, that shit is stupid because I feel like my mind is way stronger than that. You know what I mean? Like...
It is, man.
And the weed, too. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, this is cool, bro. And, like, I've been... I've been smoking to get away from my problems forever. Since I was fucking 12. You know? But I'm not sharp. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I used to fucking correct everybody. Like, I knew the answer to anything. Always try to be that guy. You know what I mean? And then you realize it's kind of impossible, and you just sit there like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
It's good to reevaluate your agreements or, you know, your relationship with certain things.
Yeah.
You know, and just understand why it is you do things and like think it through. You know, at least that's what I do. I think a lot of things through, and it really helps. Like thinking like, you know, like why, like in that scenario, like why do I smoke nicotine? Like why do I smoke cigarettes? Or, you know, why do I smoke weed? You know? And I mean, yeah, in a lot of the same ways, when I was young, it was to escape the pain, you know, from losing my grandmother, from, you know, being in a difficult environment and stuff like that. You know, it was an escape. But, you know, through time, like I said, if you just reevaluate, and, you know, I've come to the understanding in my relationship with cannabis, is that it's, you know, I do it to get high, you know, to relax, to take off that load of stress.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that too, you know? And like, you realize that when you work at fucking Walmart. Like, you know, it is actually very stimulating to your brain to, like in my position at my job, because I have hundreds of interactions each day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I thrive at, is being able to get my point across. You know? That's been my whole thing, my whole life, is I'm not going to fucking, that's why I put in my 2 weeks, because you know, I wasn't going to talk about this on the podcast, you know? I mean, if you're watching this, man, fuck you. I put in my 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
But you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to get you in trouble, but I tried to say something to him, and he walked away from me. And the past week or so, he's just basically been shitting on me and my work, telling me that my productivity is like the lowest in my department, and all of this bullshit that I know isn't true, you know? And it makes me start to think like, damn, like I'm sitting here being 100% translucent with all of these fools. One thing about me, bro, is I'm going to be me 100%. You know? I'm not going to lie. I was a follower when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I never realized that doing you could be the best thing in your whole fucking life. You know? That's why I grew my hair out, man. That's why I fucking do what I do. That's why I dress the way I do.
Yeah, same shit, bro. I swear.
Like literally. Like my mom tells me, like, you're wearing fucking grandpa shoes, because I wear Nike Monarchs. I'm wearing some 3s right now, you know. But like I wear these, like, they look like dad shoes for real, and I think they're comfortable. You know, like I wear what I like to wear. Like this is my grandpa. My grandpa passed away like 6 years ago. This was his jacket.
That's what's up.
Like I wear things that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's the way it should be.
it's weird because my mom, my mom dressed me in polo since I was a baby, because, you know, they had bread, so they had everything. They gave me everything. And that's what my dad wanted for me. He told my mom to make a promise to her that she would never have another kid from another man, and that she would give me everything that I ever wanted or needed. My dad told my mom to promise her that. And she made those promises, man. I'm an only child. My mom fucking spoiled me to the bone when I was a kid, man. Everything. Like, yeah. And I was smart enough to take advantage of it. And that's the dumb thing to me. You know what I mean? Because, like, instead of sitting there and, like, self-realizing, like, I could, if I start working now, you know, I realized this shit way too fucking late in my life. Like, I've already realized the patterns that I've created for myself, and they're not fucking healthy. You know what I mean? Like, every time that I'm free, I sit there and play the game, because that's what I do. That's what I've been doing since I was a kid. You know, when I'm lazy, I sit there and I just go back to the same pattern, you know what I mean? And I realize it, but, you know, it's hard to fucking it's hard to make a shift in your brain. You know what I mean? Because it's all subconscious.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, man, I'm sure Lo could agree to this, but, you know, it's never too late to change. You know, that's one thing that I've, you know, had to realize too, that, you know, like we're constantly changing. We don't realize it, and we like to think that, you know, our ways are set, you know, that I know it and this is that. But, you know, it's constantly changing. We're constantly getting new information, new experiences, interactions with people, learning different things, and we're adapting and evolving. And, you know, from one moment to the next, you know, I'm not the same Isaac who came in through the door. You know, things change, people change, and it's just the reality. Yeah. And like when we realize that, honestly, that's truly freeing. But yeah, man, you know, I feel like a lot of the stuff you're saying. You know, I've thought a lot of the stuff you're saying because, you know, it's true. You know, you think these certain things, but, you know, it's best to think about the framing, you know, and what exactly you're doing and what you're getting from it. Yeah. And like the 5 rings Miyamoto talks about, you know, it's like don't waste time doing useless things, you know. But what is useless? You know, it's perspective, my friend. You know, it's how people look at it. People see things differently. Like my grandfather sees useless different than I see useless, you know? Useless for me, is something that doesn't achieve anything, you know? But, you know, people's perception is different. You know, my grandfather see me playing a video game, might think, oh, he's wasting his time. Yeah. Personally, I'm learning a lot of different shit. I'm learning how these people are talking to each other, like how these people are responding to each other and saying things, different kind of quips, you know, and I'm more adapted to that. And it's like, you know, this is a learning experience for me.
See, that is one thing that I believe that video games has really advanced the youth in. Like
understanding?
Yes, like no, just like I know it's all virtual. But there's a lot of fucking interaction, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you learn to fucking talk shit at a young age, man. I was like 7, 8. Oh, man. I don't know how old I was, but I was playing Black Ops 2 on the 360, man. And I just remember quick scoping with my homie and trick shotting and talking shit. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Black Ops 2's the shit.
And that's kind of what builds your character as a kid nowadays, you know what I mean? Because back then,
it's a different age.
Like our parents, like they were doing that shit in the real world. That interaction was all like how this is, but on the streets. You know what I mean? Not on the streets, but in life. Reality. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there on the game for 3 hours, but they were outside until the fucking light post came on. You know what I mean? Like and you probably lived that life too. You know what I mean?
I did, actually. I lived some of that.
Like as a kid, you know, and that was the original being a kid. You know what I mean? Like that's what childhood should be, you know? Mm-hmm. But with the way that technology is nowadays, our kids are fucking gonna grow up with a headset on their face in fucking Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like
Star Wars is
Star Wars.
I mean, I'm not saying anything about Star Wars, but it could be anything.
No
you know?
doubt.
Like,
I see what you're saying.
It's just the way that life has become, you know? And like, you can't let that happen. I guess.
Hey, man. Evolution, bro. Like,
that's what is it? Fuck, I always forget the evolution. I always forget the term for backwards because
devolution.
Yeah, something like that.
Retrogression. Yeah, there's some big words out there. You guys want to take this shot or what?
Oh yeah. I know it's just been sitting. You're like, oh, let's take a shot at like the beginning of the podcast.
Man, we jumped into some heavy shit.
Oh yeah, it's more heavy shit. Aliens. What do you think about aliens?
Oh man,
that's always a good one to ask.
Dude, it's crazy. Like,
or extraterrestrials rather.
I've seen some shit, man. On the 4th of July, probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We were pretty much, I think, in Wheat Ridge, probably somewhere like that, watching the fireworks.
Okay.
Somewhere out west, and somewhere where the mountains aren't far, you know, like you can see pretty detailed, like to the closest mountain, you know. And everyone's leaving, you know what I mean? The fireworks are over, and me and Josiah, his father, like Josiah is my best homie. Him his mom and my mom have been best friends since I was like 2. They met at Home Depot. And he's 4 years older than me. But he was always like a tiny kid. And I was always a bigger kid. You know what I mean? And I was smart. So we clicked like immediately. And like we've been best friends since, you know what I mean? Like that's my brother, you know? Like, you know, he's pretty cool. He wants to make music too one day. You guys should meet him. But fucking
Oh yeah, so music, huh?
No, yeah, for sure. I'm getting back off topic.
The aliens.
Yes. 4th of July. Me and his dad are leaving, right? And we see 3 red orbs. And like, you know how the Predator has his little laser target and it's like 3 like this?
Yeah.
So they're like more round than that, but they're in that shape. And they rotate. And then they go back into the triangle shape. And then they rotate again. And then they spurt off. And then they came back. Did it one more time, and then they disappeared. I swear to God. And me and his dad both seen it. Like, with our eyes. Like, I was not even high, bro. And then,
Interesting.
like, they said it was, it could have been, like, fire, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't even
I
understand.
fucking doubt that.
Like,
I don't know what fire would do that.
it was some crazy shit, man. And I seen it, like,
Yeah.
and you know, sometimes, like, I live off of Broadway, you know? So, like, with my window open, like, I hear cars passing by and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Swear I've heard some aliens at night, fool. Like, a spaceship.
I swear I've
Whizzing down
heard
Broadway and
it's
shit,
like it's like
Bro, it's weird.
not like it's
No,
not like a regular sound. I
No.
know what you mean. I've heard that shit too.
It, like, no, you feel the pressure type shit,
Yeah, bro.
Like,
Like everything like shakes and shit. It's
bro,
like
no, it's like, oh,
it's like
man.
woo woo.
Yes, bro.
Like how they depict it in the movies and shit.
Yeah, like,
you know,
like
kinda.
American Horror Story.
I haven't. I
The
haven't
second
seen it.
season.
I haven't seen that one.
So,
I only seen the 4th.
Nah,
A little bit of the 4th.
like, all right. So this is a little homework. This one is actually pretty good, man. American Horror Story. It's about an asylum, and the guy and it's like the 60s or 50s, and maybe even the 40s, man. And Evan Peters, and he has like him and his wife, and she's black. You know what I mean? So people hate that they're together. So they go and they throw fire at their house, and they try to intimidate him with guns and stuff like that, and they think that he's like a bad guy. You know what I mean? But they're like in love. You know what I mean? And like she's pretty, you know? And they live together or whatever, and one night she gets abducted, dude. And they say that she was skinned alive. That's basically what happened, but everything like shook and went white, you know what I mean? And the same night they came with the fire or whatever, and then later in that night, that's when the aliens came, you know what I mean? And he went to an insane asylum, dude.
So check this.
Wild.
Check this. I don't remember where exactly I heard this, but it was like a tribe or something. I don't even remember the tribe exactly. The details are very vague, but I remember exactly what they said. That they didn't trust the aliens that come from out there.
Yeah.
They would trust the ones they come like from within the space. You know what I'm saying? The ones that come from out there are the ones that mean harm. You know, the ones with the ships and shit like that. Those are the ones that mean harm. The ones that don't mean harm, they pretty much come through a portal in like a dimension, like, you know, and present
That's
themselves.
crazy. I feel like I've heard about like something about good and bad aliens as well. You know what I mean? But man, at the end of the day, this shit is all speculation. You know, like we're just sitting here bullshitting. You know, like there could be
I know.
there could be something out there that's dimensions ahead of us. You know,
There definitely is.
like light years.
Yeah, there has to be. You know, we can't be the only thing
Like-
out here, right?
I mean,
There definitely
yeah,
is,
that's
bro.
You think we'd be the only thing out in infinity?
it's like the same thing about God. You know,
All right, what do you think about God?
I mean, it's hard, man.
Yeah, do you have
I mean,
do you believe in a God?
I don't know. As a kid, I prayed, but then as I got older, I kind of resented it because, Like, I felt like, why is there a God if he, like, why would a God take my dad or whatever? You know, like, I was, you know, hurt about whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought about that, you know what I mean? And
No doubt.
just kind of like that empty space, I guess, is what kind of fucked me up, you know? And like, why would God fill that fucking space? You know what I mean? Like, what is their like, I can't go and see him. You know, what am I going to go to a fucking church for and talk to what? You know? But now, like, I think about it as it's wherever you're at that time of when you pass, you know what I mean? And if you really, like, are content, I guess, you know what I mean? I feel like if you're not content when you pass, then you'll stay around, like, your energy at least. People in my family told me that my dad's energy stood around for like 3 years. And like, the night that he died, a dresser almost killed me. Like, a TV, I was pulling or climbing on the dresser, and it fell, and it was right in between a bed, and the dresser was tall, you know what I mean? And there was this tiny little space where like my body was, and where everything fell over when I was climbing. I must have felt like right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's weird. Like, life is meant to be, you know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
I believe so. Mm-hmm. Everything happens for a reason.
I kind of want to start looking into like astral projection.
You came to the right place.
Have you ever done it?
No.
So when I was a kid, actually, I used to have a lot of experiences with astral projection. So like, I remember there was this one time where I was watching myself dream, you know, but then like when I was dreaming, there was like a bubble, and inside that bubble, you know, it was me inside that bubble dreaming in the same room, and then it was just an infinite like fractal going into another bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when you put a mirror to another mirror or whatever, you know what I mean, and it just goes forever.
Exactly. And it was a trip. I'll never forget that dream. And that's also, crazy. Like, I had this one experience when I was like 2 or 3 years old. I don't know how I remember this experience, but I remember it. But I wasn't in my body. That's how I remember it. And like, we got into a car accident.
Yeah.
This big truck, this semi truck or whatever, in this parking lot, hit us because he fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh wow!
And I guess my mom, like everybody, like my brothers and stuff, they kind of got hurt and stuff. But I was in the back seat. I was just chilling. I wasn't crying or anything. Like my mom said, I was like perfectly fine. But I remember seeing the dream from like watching it.
Like it was a movie.
Yeah, like overhead and like.
I've never had a dream like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I have had dreams.
I can't even say it was a dream, but it was like a memory.
Real. Yeah.
You know? Like,
no,
that's how I remember the experience.
Yeah, that's weird, man. But, you know, I don't think weird is bad.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So then,
because I think I'm weird, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
we're all weird, man.
You gotta be these days.
If you ain't weird, you're weird.
Exactly.
You're weird.
I mean, I don't know. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
One more thing on astral projection, on my experience. So when I got older, I started getting into all this spirituality, metaphysical type stuff. Around 17, 18 years old. Actually, I think 19, actually. And I had this out-of-body experience, or I tried to come out of my body. I was just laying on the couch, just chilling, like meditating, and then I just remember lifting my head up out of my body and looking over. And when I looked over, there was like a freaking, like a dresser creature thing. It was weird, and it was freaking floating in the air, banging against the curtain over there, like boom, boom, and it freaked me out. And I went back in my body, and I haven't been able to come out of my body since.
Damn. I mean, I actually do remember what I was gonna say. I've had dreams where, like vivid as fuck. Like, have you guys ever seen the movie The Leprechaun?
Yeah.
So that used to be my favorite movie as a kid, but it scared the shit out of me.
I used to love that movie too, but it scared me too.
Like, I always had dreams. Like, I've had dreams where he was in my grandma's crib and like walking around, and he's like, I'm like trying to find the gold, and like like me and him are having a conversation. Like, I've had those kind of dreams. I've had dreams where I'm in the barn of like the set of the movie, but like it's real life, bro, and he's chasing me. Like, I've had dreams where I know it's a dream, but I can't like stop doing what I'm doing already. You know what I mean? Huh. Like, I'll be doing something in my dream, and then I'll realize like, oh, I'm sleeping, and then I'll just go with the flow, and I'll just let the dream go out, and then, you know, I have dreams of me at like parties sometimes, and like, I don't know why I think it's a bad dream. And I'm like looking for my girlfriend, and I don't see any faces, you know what I mean? But there's 100 people.
Interesting.
And I'm like trying to find her, you know what I mean? And then I wake up and I'm pissed, you know, because my dumbass brain, you know what I mean? Like
that electrified meat in your head.
No, dude, I don't know. I think it's a trusted,
no doubt. Definitely.
Like, I just think I get scared. You know what I mean?
Have you ever looked into like dream interpretation?
What is that?
So it's a way of looking at dreams as like having meaning for you. You know, it's trying to tell you something a lot of times.
Yeah, I've seen stuff of that, you know, and I've thought about it too, you know. But like, most of the time it's probably just out of my own overthinking, you know what I mean?
I feel that. I feel that. But like,
you know, like if you like I feel like if I think about something so much, like I try to dream shift, you know, like I try to think of something like, you know, Hunter, the anime.
I don't actually.
Well, there's this anime, Hunter x Hunter, and it's like, it's pretty sick. The power system's pretty dope. I'll get into. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to explain it right now, but like I try to shift into like the world or whatever, you know, like, and it may sound stupid, you know, but like, I like look into it and like.
Have you heard of lucid dreaming?
Yeah, I mean, that's just like a dream where you're aware, right?
Yeah, well, where you're fully aware, you have full control of the dream. So like that's what lucid dreaming is geared towards. It's teaching you to learn to take control of your dreams, and you could do whatever you want. At that point, you could create dreams and possibly even do what you're talking about, like dream shift, where you change the dream. Yeah, that's exactly what lucid dreaming is. You are the dream.
That's tight. I love music to go to sleep. That's probably like, I have a vinyl player, and I have like, I counted, it's like 23. So it's not crazy, you know what I mean? But they're all like nice records. You know, I probably have 5 99-cent records that I bought from Angelo and the Ark, you know? But I want those one day to be able to be like to sample. You know what I mean?
That'd be tight.
Like, and those 99-cent shits, like I have a Bach vinyl. I haven't played it yet. But like, imagine if I sample some Bach one day. Like, that shit would be fire, bro. Like,
so that'd be fire.
Nah, but for real though, you know what I mean? Like some random ass shit that I find from the fucking thrift store could be like some cool jazz shit or like some disco shit that I could sample or flip. You know what I mean? Like there's so much there's so much fucking music out there to make. You know what I mean? Like, I could do anything, man. I just gotta fucking put, you know, like I'm thinking about all this dumbass shit here, there, you know, overthinking and all this anxiety bullshit, but like, I feel like my life has a meaning. You know what I mean? Like there's shit that happens for a reason, bro. Like, and I've seen it play in course. Like life is a fucking trip, dog. You know what I mean? Like, and like, you can manifest something by just thinking about it. And that's the scariest fucking thing imaginable because like the brain is so powerful, you know what I mean? And nobody's really aware of it, you know? And as soon as you actually take steps into trying to advance or whatever, you know, that's when people will try to call you crazy. And like, that's what the meaning of life is, you know? Like, because what is crazy? Like, fuck it.
Life is crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is, bro. Life's crazy as hell because anything could happen at any time and at any moment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I thought about it, like, what if a fucking meteor just hits right now?
Yeah.
While I'm on the phone with my girlfriend watching an episode of SpongeBob on Messenger video call. You know what I mean? Like, life's a fucking trip, dog. You know, and there's no point in sitting there and thinking about nothing. You know, because I dead ass, like I've had so many interactions with people. I genuinely think people don't have a conscience. Like, and I know, like, there's studies on, like, you know, 60% of people don't have the inner voice or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, man, if you don't fucking sit there and contemplate, you know what I mean, within yourself, like, what's really going on, you know? And like, I'm seriously curious on how many people actually don't do that, you know, because there's some people that are so fucking ignorant, you know? Like,
Yeah.
there'll be
A lot of instincts, you know?
yeah.
You're not taught that, you know, like
that's
school.
That's honestly,
You're taught to remember shit, you know, just a whole bunch of, you know,
And
facts and stuff like that.
it's fucked up because some people weren't taught that in life either. You know what I mean? Some people weren't grown up in like I hate, you know, like I look white or whatever, but like they don't grow up in the culture. You know what I mean? They don't have a fucking Mexican mom to fucking tell them what to do and like to keep them straight. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that don't grow up that way. And they don't get that fucking, they don't have that sense of consciousness in the point, like to the point of where it's like, all right, maybe what the fuck I'm saying might actually be fucked up and wrong. You know? Maybe when I'm rushing this dude that works at Walmart who has fucking 6 other people in line, maybe I shouldn't walk up right to his left and tell him I need help now. You know what I mean? Like, do people really fucking think of stuff like that when they go and act like an asshole? You know what I mean? And it could be based on emotion. You know what I mean? Like, they could be pissed off or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're all fucking human, man. And, like, I hate when people don't understand that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're treating me like I know, like I have to do what you need right now, this second. Like, bro, I'm getting paid by the hour. You could be here as long as you want. You know what I mean? I'm chilling. Like, man, that job has just really made me think a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I might actually have something to fucking offer this world.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like, and you know what? Fuck it. Like, I gotta send it. You know what I mean? And I feel like me, like, leaving is a really, really, really big crossroads for me. You know? Like, I could really, I could either man the fuck up and do what I have to do and change my ways and stop doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And fucking actually start changing for the better. You know? Like, or I could stop working, fucking apply to a few jobs, just chill at home and keep playing the game all day for fucking 8 hours. Not do nothing for another 6 months until I decide to go back to school in the fall and have no money. You know what I mean? Like, there's 2 paths, you know? And like, I have to make a decision now. Because what the fuck am I going to do otherwise? You know? I'm just going to be stuck. I could tell my mom's already irritated with me by fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I think now is the time for me to fucking boss up and start making some decisions that can actually help my life. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
No, I feel that.
And like, I can sit here and say it all I want, you know, just like how it is with music. You know, I could sit here and talk about how much I want to make music all day long and how it's been my passion since I was 2 years old. I was singing fucking Locked Up by Akon in my fucking crib. They used to call it Baby Jail. And I would sing Locked Up word for word at 2 years old. Bro, like, that's all my life. I just remember music, you know?
Yeah.
My mom would play Scarface, and then she would play fucking, you know, some R&B girly shit. You know what I mean? She would play, like, some classic, like, 80s music. You know what I mean? She plays everything. She plays gangster music. Like, bro, my mom showed me everything. You know what I mean? And when I was a kid, all I could do was just look up music. Like, I would look up fucking dubstep. I looked up fucking rock. I looked up fucking rap. I looked up every kind of rap. I liked Eminem. I liked everybody, bro. You know, I went through, like, everything. You know what I mean? And then, like, it's always been my outlet, you know, besides this. Like, and, you know, this isn't going to get me anywhere. You know what I mean?
Unless you start doing it competitively, yeah.
Oh, fuck. You can do anything competitively.
I'm about to be doing 2 gram dab hits. Let's see.
Like
who could do it more than me?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you just got to diversify, man. You know, there's so much out there. And, you know, we're young, so we can, you know, we still have some time to make some money and spend, you know, and invest in some things like, you know, equipment to start music and, you know, different stuff.
Exactly.
You know, just to help you.
Excuse me.
Bless.
Excuse me. That's why I'm buying the records. It's kind of like
investment.
My villain origin story. You know what I'm saying? I want to, like, I want to fucking take over the world, dog. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be some Denver rapper that stays in the state. Like, I want to be known. Like, I don't care if it's commercial. I don't care if it's whatever. I want to, like, my fucking name means something, dog. Like, that represents something to me. I have pride in that, you know? So, like, that's why I took it to heart when Amin was talking shit to me. You know what I mean? Because I know what the fuck I bring. And it's not no bullshit like that. You know, I may bullshit and I may put in quite a bit of PTO, but when I'm there, I get what the fuck I need to get done. You know what I mean? And, like, for him to just sit there and fucking, like, slander me to my face, it just, that shit has me fucked up.
No doubt. That shit can be aggravating. What I've come to learn, you know, because I've had quite a few experiences myself with different managers and such.
Use that letter.
And, you know, it's about how you take it, you know, and, you know, the way I've come to see it, none of this shit's personal, you know, not nothing that I say as, you know, a manager or nothing that is being said to me from a manager, you know, and they may mean it personally, you know, maybe in some ways, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, if I'm being honest, that's kind of what after my first job too. Like, I worked at Sonic and dude kind of got in my face, literally, like, got in my face, like, and what he did wasn't right, you know what I mean? But my pride told me, like, nah. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, and the GM told me, like, you know, you can work. Like, I'm not telling you you're fired. Like, you can stay. And I walked away. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm doing again. And, I mean, is my pride really worth not having a job, you know? And, like, I mean, I could take it back. You know what I mean? Like, I could still work at Walmart, technically. All it is a fucking piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you know, it's good to weigh your options, you know?
At the end of the day, man, like, see, that it just all falls back to me being a stubborn fucking dipshit. You know what I mean? Just, it all falls back to me fucking thinking I know my worth, you know, because my worth to me is maybe lower to him, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like, not like on a human level, but like on a work standpoint. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't do my job as well as I think I do, and I'm just a cocky little asshole. You know what I mean?
it's good to consider such things, you know?
Yeah.
And have that
Of course,
objective opinion, you know, and think things like, yeah, from the other side.
But
To have the perspective.
But does he really sit there and would he ever stop to think I'm a fucking douchebag?
Who's to say? Who knows what anybody thinks, right?
Have you told him about this podcast?
Not him personally, but a few others know about it.
Whoa. You know, I feel like a lot of people from Walmart will actually tune into this because I feel like I'm actually quite popular within the Walmart thing. And, oh man, it's going to be tough going back to work, you know, because I say what I feel, you know, and I don't want him to fucking see this and be like, this little motherfucker talking shit about me on a podcast. That, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, he knows where he's coming from, you know? And he feels right. And he might be. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I just have to sit there and lie in my bed, you know? I fucking made that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
Fuck it.
True.
Like, life's crazy, bro, and
Life's a trip.
and I just, you know, I make choices like how I just did talking about him. You know? But that's how I really feel. Like, I felt really disrespected in the moment. And that's why I walked back up to him because I was trying to talk to him as he was walking away and he was ignoring me. I'm not, as a man, bro, you don't do that shit. And like, as a manager, he's going to talk to somebody else that works there. I felt like he was just fucking throwing me to the side. As a man, I'm not going to let somebody sit there and let my story go untold. You know what I mean? I'm going to get my point across. And it's messed up because I was upset. And he took me into the office with Randy. And I looked stupid. Because, you know, he tells me about expectation. And he doesn't have any feelings towards anybody. And he's going to do what he has to do for the store. You know, and like, he's going to make himself look good. You know what I mean? And then Randy's obviously going to back him up. Because, you know, and that's just how it is. It's a corporation, you know what I mean?
It's business.
Exactly, bro. No matter how much Randy and I like are cool or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fist bump, you know. We talk. It's a business. Exactly. You know? Like, see, this isn't. I mean, it might be. You know what I mean? Whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I'm telling what I feel, bro. Like, you know, whether if you go show this to a mean or not, bro, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my life. Like, and I feel kind of like a dumbass right now because it's my place of work and I take pride in that. You know what I mean? I'm there every night, man. You know? Like, I put in the work. I feel like, you know what I mean? You know? And that's why I feel so disrespected. Because I feel like I do what I gotta do. No matter what. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And I would say personally, you know, if it is still an issue, that I would talk to him personally, you know, and just say, you know, that you want to speak to him personally and talk to him. Tell him exactly how you felt disrespected.
I see, and I kind of did address it. When I walked back up to him, I said, "Can I speak to you?" And I told him, And see, that's kind of where I fucked up. Because I was already upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I told him, the way that you just spoke to me and the other night. Okay, so he told me to deep zone. Josh left at 7 o'clock. And he pulled Jenny to zone. It was only me and electronics. And it was a fucking Saturday night. I'm not sitting here making no excuses, man. What the fuck do I have to lie here for? It was busy. And I may have had 5 minutes here or 10 minutes there to just sit there and maybe go take the shit to the baler. You know what I mean? Where there was little dead spots. Could have been 30 minutes altogether. But at the end of the day, I was helping the customer. Mm-hmm. And that shit gets done. The department looked nice. I didn't zone one thing. And he was pissed. He told me, we don't expect that from you. We don't need somebody like this in electronics. He told me, he's like, you got to get this done. You know what I mean? He told me, everybody tells me that you have the lowest productivity in the department. He just tells me backhanded shit that he's getting, you know what I mean? And he's cutting me off. He's like, no. I don't want excuses. I don't want excuses. You haven't done anything. And it's just kind of like, bro, what do you want? What do you really want me to lie for? It's on camera, And he literally told me, I was sitting there watching the cameras all night. It's
no doubt, man. It is what it is,
Yeah.
I tend not to take things, at least those, personally, and just, I don't know. For the most part, I try to consider what they're saying sometimes. Obviously in the moment, it's not so easy, because I'm an emotional being too. It's just I try to control it as much as I can, but it is hard, man. And you gotta just, sometimes you gotta take them on the chin, and you gotta address things sometimes too.
Yeah.
Later.
You're right, man. I am kind of an emotional guy.
We all are, man.
And it was dumb of me to even fucking address the situation again. You know what I mean? I should have just kept my fucking head down like I did the first time. You know what I mean? Because the next night after he told me that the first time, I zoned every aisle. And it was perfect. From fucking A to Z. And it was nice. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And he brought that up when we were in the office, too. He was like, the first day, you didn't zone anything. He's like, after that, then you zoned. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It's tough because I'm already in there upset. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I could do, and I had talked to Randy earlier, and I was like, do you know how to put in the 2 weeks thing? And then he basically just told me, all you have to do is just go in there and write down on a little piece of paper or whatever. You know what I mean? So then Randy was like, just tell him what you were talking to me about earlier. And with all those emotions built up, I was just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I never make those fuck it decisions, I always just keep my head down. And I'm just like, all right, okay. And I'll just keep going. You know what I mean? And it's been that the past couple of weeks, and I feel like he could have did that. He was doing that because he was trying to make me better or whatever. You know what I mean? In his eyes. As a better worker, But as a human man, as a man, I'm not gonna just tolerate that. He could have came at me a completely different way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just the way that he approaches me is just kind of yo, you. You know what I mean? He's looking down on someone. And, that's messed up, man. You shouldn't treat anybody like that.
I agree.
And like,
That shit's tough.
I'm not the only person. I'm not gonna say names, you know, but like, you just can't be that kind of person. You know what I mean? And in his position, I could probably understand, because it's probably stressful as hell being in that place, you know, because he has to manage this chaos, and I'm just fucking working in it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I step back and I think, like, I fucked up, you know, and like, I was out of line, you know. But like, at the end of the day, as a man,
Yeah, respect.
I could find something else. You know what I mean? Like, respect is respect, man. And my name, like, I don't know. It's stupid. You know what I mean? Pride could be the death of you. You know? And that's the way life is. You know what I mean? And I took the fucking choice that I made, and I gotta fucking live with it now. You know what I mean? Because if I'm being honest, I like the job. You know? I liked interacting with the people. That's my thing. Like, I just can't
tolerate disrespect.
Nah, man. Especially on my name. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's understandable, man.
It's crazy because I talk to people. I tell them, like, you know, I put my 2 weeks in, and then they're like, why? And then I'm just, you know, I told them, like, it's bullshit. That's all I said. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's bullshit. But there's this old lady that I work with. She's like super old, you know, not like super super old. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but she's cool. Like, she's really sweet, you know. And like, I taught her how to put her numbers in on the register. I taught her how to ring something up. You know what I mean? And she's like, no, I don't have numbers yet. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever taught me. And I'm like, here, I'll show you how this works. The whole interface. It was dead one night. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, told me, I've never seen you coach anybody. And then that kind of hurt me too. You know what I mean? Because, like, I helped Mundo with a lot of stuff. I helped, like, a lot of, like, Jenny came, I don't remember, but, like, she started working in the department. I helped her with some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really taught me how to work the department, you know, besides Amanda. But I worked there for a month, and then Amanda had to step down because of...
Yeah, man,
I shouldn't even be talking about this.
It's
bullshit.
life, man.
My bad, y'all.
Yeah, man, life has its ups and downs, you know.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's
it'd be like that.
Personally, I look for all the lessons, you know, in everything. You know, I believe everything has something to teach me. You know, even when people disrespect me, you know, I keep that in mind. You know, I remember disrespect. You know, I don't take disrespect lightly. And yeah, you know, like we can be cool and interact, but yeah, I'm not gonna forget, you know, disrespect.
Yeah,
you know? Like it's just what it is. You know, I'm gonna be a professional, and you know, be cordial, but you know, yeah, you know, that's how I operate.
He says cordial.
For
I
real.
would say cordial.
Let's talk about music, man.
Tell me, okay, so you're an artist, right?
You said MF Doom's your main inspiration?
Well, yeah. Like, when I first heard Doom, I was like sophomore, and like, I didn't really listen. Like, I heard it, you know what I mean, and I loved the style and the sound and stuff like that, but I never really like listened, you know. But there was a point in time, I don't remember, it was a few years ago, and I really just listened to every single song. And it took me to this, like, place, like, this fool can play with the words different than I've ever heard ever, bro. Like, it's an inspiration to me because, like, he went through hella shit to become the villain. You know what I mean? Like, you know his backstory?
A little bit. Not too much.
So, in the 80s, him and his brother were in this group, KMD, and they were signed to Elektra Records, and they had a first album, and it went, like, silver, and they had a poppin' single, Peach Fuzz, and they were, like, headed up, you know what I mean? And right before their second album released, his little brother died in a car accident. and the album cover of the second album was Black Bastards, and it was a black cartoon getting lynched, and that was the whole cover of the album. So they got dropped from the label because it was the 80s. It was too ahead of its time, you know what I mean? And like 5 years went by and he fell off the grid. And like in 99, he dropped Operation Doomsday under MF Doom, and like he created this whole universe, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he has 3 personas, you know, MF Doom, who's like the villain. He's like the old head. Victor Vaughn, who's like the young cat. He has like 2 albums under Victor Vaughn, and he has like one as King Ghidorah. It's like the 3-headed dragon monster from Godzilla. Ghidorah sends Doom all the bars telepathically from outer space. You know what I'm saying? I think it's ill. Like he came at it a different way. Like he has an album Food that dropped in 2004, and it was like the same year the Carter 2 released. But it's from like a completely different, like they're artists, they're rappers, you know, but it's just on the different side of a coin. You know what I'm saying? Like he fucking, like Wayne was talking about chains and bitches, and you know, Doom has lyrics like the illest rapper with no chain you ever heard and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's crazy, you know?
That's legit.
And like the way he samples fucking cartoons and jazz, like on Money Folder, he has a whole interlude on the song. Like it's crazy. In every ending of the song, he has like the title of the song. It'll have a bar that rhymes with the title of the song at the end of the track every time. Like it's sick. Or it'll be like the second to last line, and then he'll end it on some fire shit. Like the song that I'm really obsessed with right now is Avalanche, him and Madlib. Can I play it? Or we can't play it?
No, we're good.
After.
Look it up. Avalanche. Bye.
MF Doom and Madlib. Dude, it's after this I'm gonna show y'all, man. It's fire. Like,
well, I think we should cut it here though. Yeah. But hell yeah, man. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, dude, we should do this again.
Definitely, brother.
Thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Till next time.
Peace.
Love.
Peace and love.